Another day, another station. After a brief overnight stop in Arica, we were on the move again. I hope that's not a snackies lining up. This is the narrow gauge station and the start of one of the highlights of our trip, the journey to La Paz in Bolivia in our own private railcar. We have bid farewell to our bus drivers as today the luggage is going with us, on the roof. This was once a regular service calling at lots of intermediate stations, but that ceased some time ago. So today this Bolivian rail bus is just for our party. With the luggage loaded, we are ready for the road. A short ride through Arica's suburbs is the next station and sidings for the freight, and it looks like we're stopping already. Since this rail car doesn't normally operate on the Chilean side of the line, it appears we need a different radio for Chile, hence the man with the tools. The old signals are now defunct, hence the radio. At last we were on our way, and the mountains are right ahead of us. For the next few hours the line will climb steeply as we ascend the Andes, clinging to ledges and passing many cuttings and tunnels. After that first climb we are on a plateau and making a service stop at Central, a bit of an oasis. Central's sole function seems to be to provide fuel and water for trains. However, it's an opportunity for us to stretch our legs. On our way again. This moonscape is just a temporary reprieve from the long climb. In steam days, this part of the line was rack-equipped due to the steep gradients. Today's modern diesels have better traction, so the rack is no longer in use. You may be able to see that the centre rack has been replaced by plain rail. This is for a number of reasons. The running rails wore down, and as a result the locomotive motor housings were hitting the now protruding rack, breaking the housings. The cure? Simple, remove the rack. However, now the sleepers split in two because they are weak in the middle, so the rack was replaced by plain rail. Some rack sections still exist, as you can see. The line here clings to this rather unstable looking rock as we grind our way upwards. And that's where we have just come along. Meanwhile, in the minute gallery, lunch is being cooked by our versatile train crew. Well, I can certainly say the chicken and chips is tasty and well cooked, full marks. We seem to have ascended to yet another plateau. This is called the Altiplano, the high plateau. The snow-capped Andean peaks are out of this world. A brief stop is made at Piquillos, 3,720 metres above sea level, or 12,224 feet. Since we started at nearly sea level this morning, that's how far we have climbed. The air is thin and the sun unrepenting in this clear sky. We are nearly at the highest point of the line, but not quite.
Copiado. En observaciones, ¿cuánto no le he entendido bien el cambio? Copiado.
Y llegó ahora 12:20 a la señal 143A.
Hasta la señal 143A, pila industrial. Último tren movilizado en el tramo fue el X1A.
After a pause for permission to proceed, we continue our climb. Llamas! It's photos all round as everyone crowds to the front. We all know Ian, our guide, thinks we're mad, as out here llamas are the equivalent of sheep. The driver obligingly stops for us. Brilliant. Llamas. Snow-capped mountains, the Andes. This is what it's all about. Another brief photo stop near General Lagos. Here we are at the highest point of the line. It doesn't look like a summit, but even so, one has to get a picture. It isn't exactly downhill from here, more of a very gentle descent. That's because we are still on the Altiplano and will be all the way to La Paz. Visviri is the Chilean customs post and the Bolivian border is just a short distance away. They don't get many passenger trains here these days. Wonder if they've had one since Palin's train. So we have to wait for the officials to drive from the road border crossing. Once it was clear that we wouldn't be arrested for walking around and taking pictures, it was time for another leg stretch. The lumpy bits sticking out of the base are parts of the old rack. In no time we are away and soon crossing into Bolivia. I don't know what the guide did, but we didn't even have to show our passports in person at either the Chilean or Bolivian checkpoints. And I was expecting true South American style officialdom. It's now late afternoon as we wend our way through these numerous canyons, spotting the Organica. That's a wild llama. In the middle of nowhere, we pause for a look at this row of standing pillars, which may once have been burial chambers. Apart from our group, there's not another person for miles. Occasionally we pass near small villages like this one at Campero. This must be the biggest river we have seen all day. Suddenly we notice the sun is on its way down, something that seems to happen suddenly at this latitude. We still have a few hours to go, so it will be dark well before we reach La Paz.